Ladies and gentlemen, do you know David Foster Wallace said this? The truth will set you free. I added this, though. The truth will set you free, but not until Daryl Guberman gets done with you. This video today is about over 2,000 plants that manufacture critical medications for us in the United States have not been fully inspected by the FDA since 2019. They're using the same old excuse that we've heard about the COVID. It was COVID. Why didn't they implement emergency authorization for essential FDA inspectors for these plants? We have a quality term in the Jewish religion called schmuck. Okay? The FDA sits on the American National Standards Institute, the American National Accrediting Board. They are the accreditation bodies for Boeing, Lockheed, etc. Boeing shoves that organization, those organizations down their suppliers and subcontractors' throats. If you're not ANSI ANAB, we can't use you. And you take a look what ANSI ANAB has done. Failure, failure, failure. And every company that is accredited by ANSI ANAB, starting with Boeing, in just several months ago, the DOJ fined Boeing $8.1 million for basically fudging documentation in their V-22, basically Bell Boeing composite facility in Pennsylvania. Pfizer skipped quality processes and standards because our FDA did not have the smarts to say, well, if we're doing emergency authorization to inject these people with a bunch of goop, the COVID shot, we should do that with inspection. Since 2019, it appears the FDA has not been doing what they have to do. It sounds very familiar, though, ladies and gentlemen, to Boeing. In 2009, the FAA made Boeing an FAA regulator. That means they made them an FAA agency. They didn't have to tell anyone about the MCAS system. They didn't have to tell anybody about new aircraft designs or testing because the FAA came in and made Boeing several of the employees FAA inspectors. What is that telling us? The FDA is following suit. And let me just tell you this one. This is the biggest charade going. The Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Commerce, and the FDA all sit on ANSI ANAB's board, not just as members, but they're also customers. They pay for a fee to ANSI ANAB for services that ANSI ANAB are going to give them. To make matters worse, the DHS and also the Department of Commerce has the factor that they have an employee. Both of them have employees on ANSI's board that paid significant amount of money. At first, it used to be called a royalty payment until we exposed that mess, and now it's called various. It's a scam. Ladies and gentlemen, our lives are in jeopardy because of ANSI ANAB. If you can't get that through your head, then I'm going to tell you what Patrick Shanahan, the CEO of Spirit Aerospace Systems, said. He was also an employee of Boeing from 86 to 2017, and then he was on the DoD from 2017, I think, to 2019, and presently at 2023, he became the CEO of Spirit Aerospace Systems. He was asked when he was Deputy Secretary of Defense of the DoD during the Trump administration, he was asked, how is the F-35 program? And he said it's fucked up. He said that. I have the data. Look it up. Patrick Shanahan, fucked up, and it'll come up. Is that any way for a CEO, now a CEO of Spirit Aerospace Systems, but is that any way for a government employee to say that? Even if it's true, it's worse than that. By the way, Patrick, let me tell you, it is worse, and you know it. You know, you have a $100 million aircraft. I just read recently, ladies and gentlemen, that aircraft had 812 rejections on it. That's a lot, and it's been made since, I think, 2012. in a report from 2013 to the Inspector General, they had 719 rejections, which I think it was 100 of those rejections could cause loss of aircraft and loss of pilot. What the fuck is that all about? I'm using Patrick Shanahan's terms. This isn't Daryl Guberman's terms. This is a Spirit Aerospace Systems CEO. And I know what they're doing. They're probably sitting down, watching my video, sucking on their martinis, making their millions. But, I have to tell you, when you have the FDA sitting on ANSI ANAB's board, the accreditation body of Boeing, and they are not only just members, they're also customers of them, paying for a fee. Then you have Pfizer and Johnson Johnson sitting on ANSI ANAB's board. And Pfizer got caught skipping quality processes and standards in the injection of your freaking COVID shot. And I was in medical. Do you know when they find out there's a problem with an injection? Not during laboratory results. It depends on how many people die after you take the medication. That's when they do the recall. Johnson Johnson, 75 million vials of COVID injection, got recalled because of contamination. Okay? We see Boar's Head with their contamination, right? Listeria. I wonder who's taking a shit in the vat, because that's basically Listeria. An E. coli, sorry. Listeria is totally, it's on the same plane. It all makes you sick. So what I'm trying to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is if you are ANSI ANAB accredited as a business owner, shame on you, because between 2015 and 21, if your registrar didn't tell you that they were being watched over by communist China, you've fucked the United States. Yes, you have. And our federal agency, I was down there with Richard Blumenthal, who probably has no clue. By the way, he got a lot of money from Lockheed Martin, $2,000, $5,000, $6,000. And he is the chairman. Now, I've sent a lot of information to Richard Blumenthal concerning medical, concerning Boeing. And you know what they do? It's like watching those monkeys see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. That's exactly what his aides do, Lorenzo and Beatrix. That's exactly what they do. They are a waste of our government funds. That committee is a waste, because the Department of Homeland Security is not making us secure. It's making us insecure, and I have the proof. Ladies and gentlemen, business owners, if you are on medications, you have to think twice, because 2,000 plants have not been fully inspected by the FDA. It appears to me that the FDA is following the FAA, basically their process, because, as I told you, Boeing was made an FAA regulator in 2009. In 2019, a spokesman for the FAA said, "We never allow a company like Boeing to police themselves or self-certify." He's a fucking liar. And then you have the DOJ, who said that Boeing lied to the FAA about the MCAS system. They didn't have to tell the FAA. They are the FAA in 2009. And every CEO at Boeing, from Dennis Muhlenberg, actually from Jim McNerney, who started the 737 MAX, to Dennis Muhlenberg, to even Dave Calhoun, they're basically, because they have full-time FAA inspectors, though they're getting paid by Boeing, they are an FAA administrator. Don't let anybody kid you. Our medications are compromised too. A lot of them are being made in China, okay? And we don't know what's going on. And then in India as well. Daryl, don't worry about it. If we shit into that, it's better for your heart medication, makes it better. And that's not funny. That's a fact. Because they have contamination. India sent to Gambia some medication, some cough medicine that killed people because they had propylene glycol in it, antifreeze, killed over 70 children. What the fuck is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. 203-556-1493 or Daryl, DARYL, TQRS @yahoo.com. I look forward to hearing from you.